Hi, PerspectiveWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, July 27th. Quite a hot day expected for the Mid-Atlantic region. High temperatures this afternoon likely in the mid to perhaps upper 90s in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. Looks like a mostly sunny day. Very little chance for showers and thunderstorms. However, the chance for showers and thunderstorms will certainly increase later tomorrow into tomorrow night with the approach of a frontal boundary zone. Some of those storms late Tuesday into Tuesday night can be on the strong side for the Mid-Atlantic region. The good news is that longer term, looks like high pressure will build over the Great Lakes region later in the week going into the upcoming weekend, and very likely could lead to a few days at least with high temperatures confined to the 80s in the I-95 corridor. That's late this week, perhaps going into the upcoming weekend. Let's start off by looking at the tropical scene. Hannah became a hurricane upon its approach to the southeastern part of Texas. It then crossed over southern Texas into northeastern Mexico, where it resides this morning, certainly in a weakened form. This is the wave that came off the west coast of Africa late last week. Gonzala has dissipated as we expected. It entered a region of drier air with higher wind shear as well, and this is something we'll have to monitor all week long, because in about a week's time, maybe Sunday, Monday time frame, it could very well become a threat to the southeastern part of the U.S. It looks like it'll continue on a track maybe in this kind of direction here over the next several days, and again, the southeastern part of the nation could have an impact from this system in about a week's time, maybe Sunday, Monday time frame, very likely to intensify enough to become a tropical storm, perhaps eventually a hurricane. I believe it would be called Isaias. And again, we'll have to monitor all week, because in maybe 6, 7, 8 days or so, it could become a threat to the southeastern part of the nation. Well, one of the things we'll have to monitor over the next several days to kind of determine where this tropical system could end up is the upper air pattern. We talked a little bit already about high pressure moving over the Great Lakes later in the week, and there will be an upper level trough also in that same area later in the week and into the weekend. And depending on the movement of that trough will have kind of an impact on the ultimate storm track of what should become Isaias at the end of the week, or by the end of the week into the upcoming weekend. We start off the day with high pressure ridging over the Mid-Atlantic region, over the northeast U.S., and again, a very hot day with high temperatures, maybe 95, 96, 97 degrees in the urban corridor along I-95. But looking upstream, we see a little wave of low pressure in the upper part of the atmosphere over the Great Lakes. Now let's move forward here, and there will be a frontal system approaching the Mid-Atlantic region late tomorrow into tomorrow night, associated with this initial wave of low pressure over the Great Lakes region at the 500 millibar level. And again, that frontal system late tomorrow night could help to generate some strong storms in the Mid-Atlantic region. It passes on by at midweek, and we get a little less hot during the second half of the work week. And here we are now into Friday. Notice another wave of low pressure aloft, and here are the first signs of that tropical system according to last night's ensemble run of the GFS. And depending on the interaction between this wave of low pressure over the middle part of the nation and this system, will kind of end up having an important impact on the ultimate storm track here. But again, the southeastern U.S. Definitely has to stay closely monitored to the situation over the next several days. This is the forecast map at 500 millibars for next Sunday. Again, 6, 7, 8 days away. And this is an important player here. Does this get kind of absorbed into that trough and then move up into the southeastern part of the nation along the eastern seaboard, or does this come swinging on through and help to push that system out to sea? Just still too early to determine, but this is one of the features I will closely follow over the next several days to see the ultimate impact of what should be Tropical Storm Isaias maybe even eventually a hurricane. Well, let's take a look at the surface forecast maps from the 6Z operational run of the GFS. Hot day here. We kind of see a westerly flow of air, and it's not strong, but kind of gets some downsloping into the I-95 corridor region. And again, very hot weather to start the new work week. 95, 96, 97 degrees for highs. DC, Philadelphia, New York City. Here's all the rain that remains with Hannah that did become a hurricane upon its approach to southeastern Texas. And here we are now, tomorrow morning, some scattered showers, and there will be some embedded thunderstorms associated with the frontal boundary zone right in this region right here. Most likely a typical afternoon, evening event for the Philadelphia, DC, New York City region, much of the Mid-Atlantic region, basically a PM hours type of scenario. And again, there could be some strong thunderstorms as well. That tends to move on by the middle part of the week, and then we'll start looking upstream. There'll be some high pressure starting to form over the Great Lakes, and may take another little wave of low pressure to go on by before we really feel the drop in temperatures. This is the Thursday evening, Thursday nighttime forecast map. Maybe some showers and thunderstorms with another little frontal boundary zone. And then Friday itself could actually stay in the 80s, maybe even as low as the middle 80s in places like DC, Philly, New York City. Notice here it's already starting to show up on the operational run of the GFS. This is that tropical system that, again, we'll closely monitor over the next several days. We'll have that upper level low and a reflection at the surface here by the early part of the weekend. And here is that tropical system here. Depending on the interaction of these two, will end up dictating exactly where that tropical system could have an impact. Perhaps the southeastern part of the nation by, let's say, the latter part of the weekend, the early part of next week, and we'll continue to monitor those prospects over the next several days. But a hot day today in much of the northeastern quadrant of the nation. That's it for now for PerspectiveWeather.com. I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.